just scanned this thing in, and I'm going to do the very boring stuff of taking all my little bits from the scanner, assembling them, and then coloring them. Oh, just a second. I gotta take this phone call. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Had to take a phone call. Okay. See, I have a cheap little scanner. Sorry about that. Moving the microphone back. Cheap little scanner. And I scan it in pieces and assemble it together. Not a very interesting process, I'm afraid. Bunch of regular old boring stuff. Number 2 position. Oh my goodness. That's kind of scary considering what I'm doing now is not very interesting. See, do I need anything at the top there? Middle, top. Alright. So this is just a matter of assembling things because I don't have a big enough scanner for as big as I draw. I'm just fitting this. That looks like that's all I need. Huh. Okay. Make the uninteresting interesting, Theo tells me. Let's flatten. Now this is where everybody doesn't believe that I draw in pencil. So let's make it bigger. And we will adjust the brightness contrast. Bring the contrast up. And sometimes I'll push the brightness down just a little bit. Let's do that. Brightness down just a little bit. And then I'm going to give it another dose of contrast. For some reason, my old Photoshop CS4 doesn't want to go all the way with contrast, so I have to give it 3 or 4 shots. Alright, now I will grab this. Am I happy with where it is? Yes, I am. Grab that there. That is going to be the outer edges. Let's go with that. Copy, new, paste. And this will be making the uninteresting interesting. Alright, I'm going to make this image 1000 dpi, 8 inches wide, and 5.75 height, which is good standard editorial cartoon hole. And you can see what it's looking like. I'm going to give it bitmap. Okay. And then save it. I look better from above than I do from below. Don't get that huge neck. A pretty good looking neck if you look at it from above. Alright. So let's save as. TIFF. Thousand DPI line. Okay. Now I'm just gonna go in here and just spend time cleaning this puppy up. It is bitmap, right? Alright. And I'll just go in here and look for bits of crud and take out the crud. Sometimes things are extra cruddy. Some of this stuff is eraser crumbs. Some of the cartoonists do not do a good job of cleaning up their cartoons. I find that in regard to cleaning up this hickey stuff, that the pencil drawings, which you would expect to be much dirtier than ink, really don't scan any dirtier than ink. You get just as much crud from ink. So I'm just going in here with the lasso tool and cleaning up little bits of crud, which anybody should do whether you draw in ink or in pencil. Standard cartoon housekeeping. Cleaning up the crud. once I get this cleaned up, I will go about coloring it. It really doesn't take that long. Not like it's terrible. And I do correct some of my drawing stuff, which may not be as elegant as it should be. But I apologize for showing this because I think this is not interesting. This is the housekeeping. Nice to see you there, Too Senseless. Okay, I'll stop talking about why it's not interesting, and I'll talk about why it's important. You know, lots of artists do a heck of a lot of dirty junk, and they get bits of crud and hickey all over everything, and they don't clean it up, and it just looks like crap. And you should have a little bit of self-respect and do your housekeeping, clean your stuff up. These little specks show up on ink drawings as well as on pencil drawings. It's not a matter of ink or pencil. It's a matter of, you know, we live in a world full of crud, and you want to scan the stuff so that your lines come out as black as possible. That's going to make a little bit more of the crud show up. And it's just what you got to do. And it's nice to be able to come in and do a little bit of finesse on the drawing to make sure that some little details are looking nice. That little detail was a matter of by not lining up these scans perfectly. But it's usually easier to clean it up than it is to worry about lining up the scans perfectly. Okay, I will refrain from ever saying that things are not interesting, because everything is interesting. I do like to come in and give a little bit of finesse here and there that can be lost from the drawing if you don't do the little finesse, like making the little bumps a little bumpier, creating a little bit of like this. This was a drawing thing that shouldn't be there, and I drew it, and I can easily just get rid of it. Here you can see that break is from my scan. That break is from the scan, but who cares, you know, because I'm doing this stuff. Fix it up. Too Senseless. People like watching the process. There are a lot of artists who watch other streamers to learn. Okay. Now that's a matter of fill, because I erased those eyes, drew them again, then they wanted to fill. I'm just running around cleaning up hickeys, cleaning up little areas where I think the lines aren't quite clean enough the way I drew them, fixing little bits of inelegance. Boy, I like my head so much better from the upper angle. Maybe I'll just leave that camera there all the time. I had it on my drawing table underneath the Wacom tablet. So I had to move it because I'm using the Wacom tablet now. Yeah, everybody should do this housekeeping. Artists are messy souls. Here you can see where in this area here you can see where the scanner pieces weren't quite aligned right. Maybe I should fix that. Every so often I'll see a scanner thing that I will, well, let's do that, endeavor to fix. Take that and we'll move it just right there. That worked. I don't put a lot of worry into those scanner alignment things because this is so forgiving. I would like to get all the artists in our group to commit to doing this kind of house cleaning because so many of them have such hickeys on their art. These little spots are called hickeys. Some little trace lines like this are lines that I actually made with the pencil and should not be there. That's getting a little bit of fill. So here's a scanner artifact. I'll just clean off a little bit so it doesn't look so artifacty. Alright, I think we're pretty clean now. This drawing was pretty typical for how dirty it looked. And a pretty typical amount of time cleaning it up. So now what I have is a nice 1000 dpi high res hard line scan. This is why people think I draw in ink instead of pencil. Because it ends up looking like ink because it's all pretty hard. I'm not dealing with any grays, pencil grays. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to stop for 5 minutes and take a break, and I will